receipts and things, and phone bills and texts, or as Les White can say, texts and lawsuits. We're gonna talk about it after the 30, Lord. My God, today. Lord, people crazy as cat pee. You hear me? You hear me? People are crazy as cat pee. So Dobby done talked so much. And congratulations, Dobby, on your new apartment, girl. Congratulations. Let me say hey first before I get into this. What's up, She Talked Too Much? What's up, Christopher W., who's a member? Let me highlight my members. Haitian Princess, who's a member. What's up, Tanya McNeil? Oh, my God. What's up, Michelle's daughter, a member? What's up, T. Trish? Girl, I got to get back on Smule. I ain't been on Smule in a while, T. Trish. Anyway, baby, people are crazy as cat pee and things. So now it has come to my attention that Brooke done paid Dobby's phone bill and then had the receipt. Brooke done had the receipt, and you can tell it's Dobby because it's the spelling, is how she's saying stuff. Oh my God. OMG. And then Dobby talking about some, well, if you done paid that, could you pay it again? I'm like, girl, is you crazy? So now Dobby admitted. Dobby said, well, girl, if you paid it once, can you do it again? If you done it before, could you please do it again? Baby, it was the spelling for me. It was the spelling for me. You can't write like that unless you Dobby. I mean, it just clicked. And I'm gonna tell you, I believe Brooke. I believe Brooke on this one. Because it was the spelling. Oh my God, let me find that. Let me hold on for a minute. Let me find that. Hold on for a minute. Okay, y'all. I need a favor till end of month. I'm down real bad. Girl, look, girl, you can't make this stuff up. She said, I need favor to end month. Down real bad. That means she down real bad, girl. I'm like, you can't make this itch up. And then come to say, well, could you help me out some more? Baby, I am through with these people. And I believe Brooke, because nobody, I'm down real bad. She said, I need help till end month. I'm down real bad. Girl, girl, she said down real bad. That means she is really hurt, honey, because she is down real bad. Ma'am. Ooh. And it was $65. Brooke, you didn't have to do it like that. Brooke, you didn't have to do mother like that. Brooke, you didn't have to do niece like that. Ooh, Brooke, girl, you didn't have to do it like that. You didn't have to put it all out like that, bro. Hey, Misunderstood. Ooh, I got something to ask you, Misunderstood. Girl, don't go nowhere either, Misunderstood. Oh my God, I don't believe in getting in other beefs and other sections, but I do have to ask you something about this person and this other person. But she down real bad. She down real bad. Just saying hello again to everyone in the chat. I'm able to type individual names, so I hope that's all right, Tish. Girl, we down real bad. We down real bad, girl. So the word on the curb is that Brooke had to pay for Dover's phone bill not once, not twice, but 3 times. Okay. Okay. She was down real bad. Then now you got just read my book saying that if anybody has been harassed by Dovey, get in contact with her because baby, I guess what's getting ready to happen is just read my book is tired of this foolery. And she said, I'm gonna take this off of the YouTube street and we're gonna take this to court because you besmirchifying my name. Okay. She said you is besmirchifying, as Lady Nika say, my name. And so now just read my book ain't saying too much, just collecting. So I don't know what that mean, Dovey. I don't know what that mean, girl, but girl, she gonna take more than some food stamps. I think you need to, girl. Okay. Um, mm, Another court case, boo. Another court case. And then what else I want to talk about, y'all, because I seen that. Oh, what up, Dovey? That. Oh, so now, y'all, who do you all believe? Kiki male or Kiki female? Because it's a lot of text messages coming from both of them. Now, Kiki female is saying that Kiki male is cutting and pasting and leaving some things out, and he lying on her. And Kiki is saying this man is just obsessed with her. It's confusing. It's confusing. But I'm gonna tell you, Kiki Mel is putting out some of them text messages, and I'm like, ooh, what y'all think? What y'all think? What y'all think about that? Because it seemed like this Kiki and Kiki thing is ratcheting up, and he's just dropping more text messages. But Kiki, the female, said he's crazy and he's obsessed with her. What y'all think about that? What's up, Vivian? What y'all think about that? Y'all, juicecation coming up too. Let's not forget that juicecation. And as well, if you want to sponsor, please sponsor. But what y'all think about that? Y'all, I mean, because yeah, this Kiki thing is getting real. I'm like, wow. So anyway, that's the Kiki thing. And then my name was brought up into it. So I saw the little text message. Why my name brought up into it? Because I was on. Why my name brought up? I mean, why Jay Wilson name brought up? Jay Wilson is on. Oh, why my name brought up? I mean, I hope you was coming to watch me because you thought it was gonna be a good show. But I don't know my name, Kiki. Why y'all be bringing my name up? Why my name got to be all up in y'all business? I don't have nothing to do with none of that menage a kinky stuff y'all doing over there. I don't know nothing about that. When I saw that Ken Laros, I can't trust anything he puts out. Okay, for a married man, how does his wife put up with a husband like that, baby? I don't even know. And see, people always think I'm pro Ken and anti Kiki, but baby, you know you wrong because that's a married man, and he know he wrong because he married. But that's what y'all do. I ain't look. If your wife is okay with it, I'm cool. Now, before you go for a drive, I said a job, Lord. The drive misunderstood. Now, I read this thing about this YouTube camera and this Derek Goins person, and now they said that that seemed like a hot mess right there. Now they say that's a married woman. Now this is what I heard. I heard that that's a married woman, and she done sent some stuff to this man, and it got found out. Now, first of all, how did it get found out unless this man done gave it to somebody? I'm just asking because I don't understand how Donald Goins, baby. I done made the man Darius. Don't get me lying on Darius, but I can't understand how y'all get it. How did somebody send it to somebody? I mean, how all this happened? How y'all's really ooh, I can't now. That's a little merch. That's a little merch. And I'm just trying to find out. I don't even know YouTube camera. She seems like a really nice lady, but y'all people are adamant. I ain't saying y'all, but I'm saying people are adamant by saying that this woman sent some pictures to this Darius Donald Goin man or whatever his name is, and people think they going together and stuff. And I'm like, okay, now it sound like a Kiki and Kiki thing going on. I'm telling you. I thought she liked MU. I don't know what's going on here. Okay, this go misunderstood. What's up,
Hey,
misunderstood?
sorry, yeah, I had to I couldn't type because I'm getting ready to go for a drive because this stupid motherfucker owe me some explanations and I want to see him face to face. Fuck that shit. As far as the YouTube camera thing goes, I didn't have anything to do with that. That I mean, I have heard it, but I don't give that kind of commentary. So I don't understand why she's upset with me.
Well, yeah, because I heard that she's upset with you, and I'm like, okay, now because it seemed like. But first of all, how did people get their hands on this? I'm like, how you supposed to be sending this to this man, but not everybody know about this?
It's been actually it has been out there before, but again, I don't give that kind of commentary. So when I heard of it, I didn't speak on it. But the problem was she was speaking about my past and bringing something up, and somebody brought something up on her, but that had nothing to do with me. I think you two cameras and I are good now. We had a conversation about it, but that stuff apparently the wife of the married guy is speaking out. But again, that's not my commentary, so I ain't touching it.
Lord Jesus,
It's a
Lord
mess. What
Jesus,
everybody
Lord, it's
has
a mess.
something.
It's the
Hmm.
mess. It's a mess. It's a mess. It's a
Yeah, so
mess.
YouTube cameras is upset about that. But again,
But now they said that she going on airplanes, but she ain't confronting VS. And again, I don't know, baby. It may be smart for you not to say nothing and just keep on moving. I
well,
don't
see,
know, but
that
it's
was
a
my
mess.
issue with her because she had tagged me in a couple posts, and I was saying to her, I happen to be like, I'm not responsible for what other people say.
Why y'all
Okay.
send this lady driving over to Don Cato house? Maybe she just driving because she want to drive.
So yeah,
Okay, I'm just saying because people saying you trying to drive over Don Cato house,
I
and
didn't appreciate that last. Yeah, um, so-
okay, girl, what? It ain't my business where you drive.
yeah. So just a different subject. Number one, I
Niece, it ain't none of my business where you're driving, but
I don't want to go. I don't want to go inside or anything like that. Nope,
so you haven't talked to Don Cato, you just cut that thing off.
it's done. There's nothing to talk about.
Okay, so you hear me? You hear Miss understood? She said it is done. She said
Yeah.
you done embarrassed me. I ain't gonna deal with you no more because again you did something that was just unforgivable. I saw it with my own eyes, and I'm not done. No, she
There's
just.
nothing to talk about. Our last conversation was if you say stuff, he'll take me to court and stuff like that. Blah blah blah. So that's why I was like, you don't have to worry about me saying something. I'll just pull up on him. I don't really give a shit.
I mean, because I just know. Well, like I said, let me say this: you a grown woman, and what you do is your business. I mean, really, it is. But a lot of people are not feeling that because even if yeah, it was just he said some stuff, and it's just like he never took accountability. It's always the person, you or Snoop, and he don't want to be bothering y'all mess and all of that. But yeah, so I
Yeah,
tell
that's
you,
done. That's done. I don't. I'm not trying to be with him.
what's
Fuck
up,
this.
Tracy?
Hey, hey, how you doing, Jay Wilson? And misunderstood. I caught what you said, Jay Wilson. You kept talking right over it, but misunderstood said, and I hope you're not going over there. You said, "I'm getting ready to go see this motherfucker because I want to get some answers," something to that effect. And I'm like, "What?" I was like, "No, no, just leave that man. You don't need that man. Don't even go over there. It doesn't make any sense, babe. There's nothing to talk about. It's over. You're doing so good. Don't go back there. You're doing good.
I
I don't know
really
what answers
didn't
do you want?
appreciate his last conversation, and it's like, if he was to take me to court, I'm gonna give him something to take me to court about. Period.
But misunderstood. This is the thing. He said what he needed to say to you. I mean, really, he has. And again, I live way up in Texas and see that. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. Misunderstood. I think that sometimes we invest in people and we want because I understand that he helped you do some things and that's great. But sometimes we go into places and truly absent does not make the heart grow fonder. It just really
It
makes you
doesn't.
think and say, you know what, I don't need this because again, some people get you in that house and it seems like you like certain things, and somebody might do the thing to you, and the next thing you know, you all wrapped up in that thing again, if you know what I'm talking about. And my
Yeah,
thing
no, I'm
is, you
not even
don't need to
feeling
be
him on that
over there
level.
in that thing. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not even
But you're
feeling
doing
him on
so
that
good.
level
All it's
anymore.
gonna do is set you back that much further. You're doing so good, and why even go back there to be a shark? It's like false hope.
Yeah, you
There's
need to
no.
get sober
This
from
is
him,
not
girl,
the
because
one
it
for
sounds
you.
like you addicted to him. No pun intended. Well, yeah, pun is
But yeah,
intended.
that can be
But it
that
sounds
can be.
like, girl,
Yeah.
don't go over there. You need sobriety from Don Cato now. So I mean, serious, because I'm
You're
serious.
doing good, babe. You don't need to go back over there for what? He calls and you go over. No, not now.
Mm-mm, mm-mm.
I mean, he's just
No.
not. Remember, and I was all down for him. I was, I was like, this is a good man. This man loves you. But I kept saying all, but then to see the way that this man is acting and treating you, no, you don't deserve that shit. And of course, he's gonna say that because he knows what to say to get you to come back over there. That's what he knows.
Mm.
You
No,
don't
he
Yeah,
do
doesn't.
that.
No,
misunderstood.
he doesn't.
Girl, make another lasagna or something. I mean, that girl, that'll keep you in the house. Girl, I mean, seriously. You know what though? Let me say this misunderstood though. Sometimes you need to know you. And I'm not saying you don't, but sometimes you need to be well with yourself. Because one thing I did hear you say that kind of got me was, I'll find somebody else. I don't like being alone or da 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 da. And my thing is, when you get out of a relationship, you got to give yourself time to heal and think, because again, you'll go back and repeat the same thing again if you don't really reflect and think about what happened. So you won't repeat it the next time. But you're a grown woman. Let me say this: you're a grown woman. Whatever you decide to do is your business. But I'm gonna tell you, please don't put it on YouTube, because once you put it on YouTube, it's done. And I mean,
Well,
I'm just being real. It's
it's
done because
already on
I'm telling you
YouTube.
right now, I'm gonna talk about it. So if you go over that Don Cato and y'all hook and heist up again, folk gonna talk about it. So I'm giving you fair warning. So nobody gonna be crying over here. I'm gonna talk about it. I'm just being real. My thing is though, I think Tracy is right. Me and Tracy don't agree on everything because again, I think Tracy feels the way I felt about her in one of those situations. And then when people see stuff, it's like,
That's true. I was just
uh-uh.
thinking about that, Jay Wilson, because let me tell you why. Let me tell you, you can say, I remember for 10 years, I was like, oh, it's okay. I'm still, I have a boyfriend, but you know what? I'm just going to see and keep my options open. You don't keep your options open because let me tell you what happens. You fall more and more in love with that person. You want to be with that person. So you close yourself off to other people. And that's what's going to happen is you don't even need to, why even that person does not, he's trash. He couldn't even admit, he blames everything on you. Every time you
I
talk, he
know.
blames everything on you. I don't understand. Like, you want to go over there for more abuse? Why? For him to potentially put you out in the middle of the night? I don't understand. It just don't go. You're
And it
good.
gives me that's the only man in California. And I know that ain't the only man in California. And I mean, but let me say this.
No,
One thing
she
I
went
will
on a
say.
date with a good-looking guy. She said he had green eyes. I mean, he's light skinned. I'm like, why are you not like? It's like you're closing yourself
Okay.
off. I don't
Well,
understand it.
my thing is misunderstood. My thing is ask yourself this misunderstood. Now, I'm being real honest right now. And just this is real, real right now. And I want you to answer this question honestly. Would you want that for your daughter? Would you want a Don Cato for your daughter?
No. Uh-uh.
So if you wouldn't want it for your daughter, why would you want it for yourself? See, anything that you don't want for your children, you shouldn't want for you.
There's no explanation. He's just going to tell you what you want to hear to get you to do whatever, more than likely.
But I'm gonna
And
say
it's the
that
same
you
thing.
just think about that misunderstood. I ain't gonna say nothing else. There's nothing else to be said. If you don't want that for your own kids, then you should not want that for you. You should not want that for yourself. And I'm not gonna lie about that. And that's something to think of. Whenever you get weak or whenever you think you need to go back, would I want this for my own daughter? If I wouldn't want it for her, then why would I want it for me?
Hmm.
And I don't think you want that for you. And I think sometimes you underestimate yourself. Misunderstood, first of all, you are a unique cook. Okay, I'm gonna give you that. You are with your health and wellness.
And don't think he
You
didn't see you cooking on there, and that's why he's calling today. No, he should have thought about that before.
Okay, you going back to school. You need to focus your studies now. You're studying and you need to be focused on your studies right now. You know why? Because you love misunderstood and you invested in misunderstood. And let me say this. I think that sometimes we devalue ourselves with a lot of these folk that we with, and like I said, anybody can bang your back out and have your legs shaking, but after that, what is there? And
Yep.
and I get what you're saying. He's the person that helped me do this, and the third. But it seems like you jumped from one addiction to another addiction. And I think that this man plays those games. And he you too old. And let me say this, if he's doing this at how old is that man now, misunderstood?
I think he said what 59 on Kimmy's because that was the
Okay,
first
Yeah.
I've heard it.
misunderstood.
59.
That's
Mhm.
old. And ain't
Yeah.
nothing changing about that. See,
And
that's the
yeah.
whole thing. You're not dealing with a 20-year-old. You're not dealing with a 30-year-old. This man is in his late 50s. And baby,
Mhm.
at the end of the day, that's what you're gonna get.
It's
That's
gonna
what
get
you're
worse
gonna
before
get.
it get
And you
better.
and you shouldn't be wasting your look. You ain't even hit 50 yet, misunderstood. You better live your life, because once you get to 50 stuff, that thing be going downhill. And so you need
Mhm.
to live your life, and you shouldn't spend the other half of your life chasing after something that don't want you or only want you for his convenience. I mean, really.
Mhm.
Let me say, I wish I would be up in somebody's courtroom and be talking to somebody,
I would have been arrested because I would have
or
started
vice
slapping. I already
versa.
know. I already know. I would have just been
I
hauling
know
off. They'd have been
put
like,
me in a
she's
bad
crazy.
situation.
But like I
If
said, if you don't want it for your own children, you shouldn't want it for yourself. Misunderstood. And let me say this: we understand that people get weak. We understand that's hard. And I'm not trying to diminish the fact, because this is a person that you really, really liked. But again, he's done this stuff numerous times. And my thing is, you just have to separate yourself, and you need to look at, this is what I've gotten. And misunderstood, I would never embarrass somebody who I love on a public platform like this. And even though y'all the courthouse thing wasn't published, it's the mere fact that you said the same thing that Kiki them said. It was verbatim. He was in my face. He was in my face. And then you saw him. And then what you said only connected with what they said. So my thing is that this is not the first time that he's embarrassed you. And I don't think that's right, because anybody who loves you is not going to embarrass you in front of a group of people.
that's
Just think, if you waste your life, and 10 more years from now, he'll be 55. And then 10 more years from now, he'll be what, 70? Can you imagine that?
you're
That's
right.
crazy.
You're right.
It's just, you don't
But
deserve. What are you going to do then? I mean, no, it's going to get worse because he's going to have these ailments and he's going to really make you feel guilty and all this other shit. And
yeah.
it's just like he doesn't
Meditate,
deserve it.
meditate, misunderstood. Take a hot bath, girl. Really, it really works. Take a hot bath and relax yourself, and just because again, you gotta do things that take you away, because it is an addiction. I think it is. I don't know
Yeah.
if you ever watched that Alexis Taylor lady, and people be laughing at her, but that lady had some stuff. She said dick will make you slap somebody. And she said it's secret codes. And I think you got a code connected to a code. And I think you just need to go ahead and deactivate. Because again, I do think that soul ties and all of this stuff, and people, that's an intimate part. You're
Yeah.
giving somebody yourself, and that's a deep thing when somebody does this. But again, you have to realize that some people may love your sex, but they may not love you. And they might love
Mhm.
your sex and your company. But if people love you, and if he was really serious about that, it would have been a ring on the finger. Y'all would have been talking about marriage, engagement. But this man is doing what he's doing. That's all I'm. Did somebody send me some money? Okay, hold on for a minute. Teresa, talk to her. Somebody sent some money. Love you,
Yeah.
mean it, but somebody sent some cash. I need to see some cash.
Right. Yeah. I just think that you deserve so much better. I'm like, why don't you just go and call the other one that you went out with the other night? I mean, that was.
Oh,
I mean, there's no.
it
There's
was
just.
fun
It's
though. It was fun. Like we had a good
So
time.
so why did you like the one, or you sound like you're not enthused about this date. What was
She's
wrong
just
with the
still
date?
hurting because of Don Cato, I think. So it's
Yeah, but
blocking
it
her.
was nice. But he was like fun and stuff. Like it was nice.
He was nice, but he was what?
It was just kind of like it's just I don't know. was just, it
What
was just
what
fun,
was
but there
specifically
wasn't
that?
like, it wasn't like marriage, like, oh, I want to marry you. It was just like
Well, no,
whatever.
because your feelings are with somebody else, so it's not going to be like that. It may not be like that already. I mean, you never know. Just just you got to just sort this thing out with Don. I mean, you got to just in your mind, you got to be done with it. He's the only reason why this man is calling you back because he's seen you up there for what 6 hours or 5 hours, however many hours. Okay, looking so cute cooking, and now he's like, "Oh, I'm playing
Yeah,
this game to
girl,
get you to
you
come
was
over
really
there."
selling that lasagna, and girl, because your titties was
Child,
out,
she
and
was
you had your little
boobalicious
hoochie
up there,
shorts
child.
on. I'm like, okay, is you selling lasagna? What is this the Hooters section of lasagna? I just don't get it. But like I said, though, for real, your titties was given, and you did have some. I mean, seriously, you was exuding sexual energy up there making that lasagna,
Mhm.
and he
Yeah.
probably wanted some lasagna and some other stuff
Yeah.
too. But see, you got to realize your value. And my thing is, you're still a vibrant woman. This man, I mean, no, and again, let me say this. It's not even because of his looks or anything like that. What bothers me the most is not taking accountability for his part and
Yeah.
always trying to blame it on somebody else. And I'm like, that's not good. That's not healthy. And what you don't realize is I want you to go look at Cola Nix and her situation with Peace Love. It's giving the same thing. It's giving the same thing. And I hope y'all don't see that. But what that
Jay
woman went
Wilson, you
through,
keep talking about that man and Cola. You keep
what
comparing them.
but
I
it's
hear
the
you.
same thing. No, Tracy, it's the same thing. He
Yeah.
takes no accountability for, he lied about where he was. He lied about this. He took no accountability. And that's what I'm
Yeah.
trying to say. And the Don Cato thing is almost an exact replica. These guys do not take responsibility, and they always want to blame someone. They want the pretty wife. They want the wife who works. They want the wife who has things going on, all so they can break the wife and make them look silly. Because that woman was high up rank in her in the military. So I'm just saying, I see the same thing. And then he wanted to blame her, and it's like, and the thing is, she took accountability for her ish, and he still did. And so it's giving me the same thing. I'm serious. I'm
Yeah, you
telling
said
you.
that.
I'm telling you
I
that Snoop thing bothered me, I'm telling you, for the mere fact that they collaborated to deceive, that bothered me as well, because it's still a lie. I don't care if you said you was Christian, y'all weren't doing nothing, everything, but then to come find out that y'all did, no, that was a no for me right there. So I just think that it's a lot of things, and it's not, and this is not going to be the last time. So if you get back with him, you're going to deal with it again. You're going to
Oh
deal
yeah,
with it
it's gonna
again.
be worse. It's gonna keep getting worse and worse until
I
something
know
happens.
Kiki thinks
You're
it's
gonna
funny.
end up going to jail or something, Raj, because you're gonna be like you're gonna get more emotionally attached, and he cannot give you what he can't give it to you because he don't have it. He can't give the idea of being honest. He
Yeah.
can't get up there and just stay on a platform and stand still. He has to pretend like something's happening with the volume or whatever's going on. Nothing's going on. He just don't want to give any information. That's
Well,
all
I'm
it
gonna
is.
say this,
And then he
MD.
talks
You're a
about things
grown
being
woman.
public.
You're a grown woman. You can do the hell what you want to do because you're a grown woman. But I'm gonna tell you what, baby, we gonna talk about it. I'm telling you right front now, so you ain't angry with me. You may do 50 videos, but I'm telling you right now, you are
They are going
grown.
to drag baby.
Rodney
What's
is
up, Rodney?
crazy. Rodney is crazy.
I mean,
But you
I'm
know
being
what,
real though,
MU?
because
M-
you grown. You grown. But again, we have to
I
realize
wasted,
that people gonna talk
misunderstood. I
about it on
wasted 10
YouTube.
years of my life. 10 years. I wasted 10 years. And what happened now? He's dead. Remember? That's why I said people need this drinking it seriously. You need to drink. I'm not saying he's drinking, but it's like you need to, your life is precious and you
You
can't get
gotta take
those years back.
it seriously. Yeah, you
right.
gotta take
And
it seriously. I just keep thinking. It's like I gotta start replaying that shit in my head, like how he just was sitting there and he has the nerves to call me and tell me that he's gonna take me to court and all this shit. Like I just get angry.
Yeah,
who's going to
that's what
take
he
you to
did.
court? Who's going to
That's what
take you
he
to
did.
court?
That's what
That's
he
what
did
he said.
today. Calling her, telling her he's going to take her to court. That's because he wants her to
Take her
come
to
over
court
there.
for what? For what? For fucking
Well,
what?
Because of the stuff that
didn't
he
he
was
already come to the court? What did he do in the court when he was there?
For
Jay
what?
Wilson. because of the stuff that people are saying about he's blaming that stuff on me. So he said,
But you know
Oh
what though? Let me say
fuck.
this. That's a punk. Yeah, I
You
hate
know
to say
what?
it. That's a punk move.
Yeah.
You are
Ooh,
not
Yeah.
taking
child. That's
accountability for
now you
what you
see why I
did,
said I
and
wanted
people
you guys'
calling
Jay
you
eyes on
out.
him.
Wilson. I know I'm on your platform, but he's a whole bitch. I'm
He's
sorry.
doing that because he knows you're going to go over there and react. He wants you to
That's
go over there
why
and
he
Right.
react so
does
he can
that
probably have you
because it's
arrested.
like when he was calling saying that because something told me that you even knows I didn't answer at first, and then I'm like,
Right.
okay, something was going on, and then he's like telling me about what people are saying and it's my fault, and that he's like, you better be careful. We end up back in court, and the last thing he said he was going to take me to court.
Oh, that's not. You know
Don
what?
It's because
Cato.
he wants to be, he pretends like he's so
Oh my
private. If he
God.
was so private, he would have kept this thing in his pants and would have been slanging D everywhere. So I don't want to hear about it.
This is the thing. You said that you were looking at him during the court case, and it just took you off because he was busy talking to that person. Baby, that's not slander. That's what you actually did. And
Yeah.
then my thing is anybody who needs to take to court, he needs to take Kiki to court because she was the one who was touting that he was all up in Snoop's face, like, yeah, he ain't got over Snoop. So my thing is he's gonna take you to court for what? I mean, because he didn't come to do what he was doing to support you. I mean,
That
MU,
man.
He's saying
that
it's
makes me
ruining his
upset.
reputation, and I ain't trying to ruin his reputation. I
What
didn't.
reputation?
Oh
It was
my
ruined.
God.
It
He's
was
He
ruined
oh
did
when
that
he.
his
It
damn
was
self when
already
he went
ruined
over
when
to
he like.
ZX.
oh my God. Everybody know you don't he don't have no damn reputation to ruin. It's already ruined. What does
It
he
was
mean?
ruined during that Snoop situation. Sitting up
Right.
there lying.
But you know what? That man is a narcissist at his finest. You hear me?
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Nothing
MU, let me
he
tell you
never
something.
assumes
Let me tell you something,
responsibility.
MU. Let me tell you something. Let's say if you do go back to Don Cato, and I'm telling you right now, eventually you are going to regret that. I'm telling you. In the long run, you're going to regret that because you're going to look back at
Yeah.
them years that you done lost,
Yep.
wasting your
Trust me.
time on a no shit nigga,
Because I
and you're
look
going to
back on
regret.
mine.
You're
Go
going
ahead.
to regret that. You're going to regret that. I'm
So
telling
if
you
he's a
now.
narcissist too, the worst thing you can do to a narcissist is ignore them.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
any little you let me say this misunderstood. Now I'm gonna give you some advice, and whether you take it or not, it is up to you.
Block his ass.
But you need to block him and everything because even if you give him a little bit like a text, he feels like
Hmm.
there's still some hope for me.
Yeah.
Right.
And
Right.
and again, the worst thing you can do to him is that, and they always say I'm sorry or but if that's the case, misunderstood. You because again, long as he knows that he got you somewhere, like a text, or he can get in contact with you or anything like that, then he's going to continue to do that. But the worst thing you can do to him is ignore him
But you know what,
because
Jay Wilson? But you know what, Jay Wilson? Now, since didn't happen, they done separated. He's gonna the MU. I'm warning you now, and I'm giving you a heads up. He's gonna come full force, and he's not gonna stop. So the best thing for you to do is ignore him, block him, go on about your life because he's not gonna change. He's
And
he's
I
not
know
gonna
not,
he's
change.
not.
and he
And I
uses
know
that
you're
guilt
thinking of
of.
the good times, but those good times are over. The only reason why you felt he was good to you at that time because you were at your lowest and you were in recovery. You were using or whatever.
And
And so you were
usually
coming up
men
off
who
of
are
that.
narcissistic like people who have something because they always like to fix people and use people as a project. And I'm just
Hmm.
saying, you just have to be very careful because again, it's like almost you need me and I help you do this and now this is what you do to me and all of that. But again, he may have done that, but I mean, hmm, you pay a
But then
price.
again, he turned right around and was videotaping in your damn house and gave it to ZX. So see, he's
Right.
never been there for you. Never. Never has
So
he
I
been
just
there.
think
He
you
may
need
have
to
been
be
I
there at
know
the
they
careful,
had
time,
baby.
right. I know they had
but
to
that
be
was it.
so humiliating for MU. I know they had to be so embarrassing. You went
All
to
I
It
can
one of
say
is.
this
is, MU.
woman's
First of all, you're gonna be fine. You just have to have some confidence in you. But I'm gonna say this: the more attention you give him, the more he knows that you want to come see him or give him a piece of your mind because he wants that. Long as he can see you, whether it's positive or negative, that's all he cares about. Long as I can see you, long as I know in my mind that I'm taking space in your mind, I'm good. you know,
Yep.
and that's what he does. I mean, come on, Mu. This guy actually was in the face of somebody. No, that ain't right. But Mu, you're grown. But I'm gonna tell
Don
you,
Cato, and don't you drop down in this chat. I'm gonna block you on sight, bastard. Don't you drop
mm,
down in that chat.
don't block him.
You don't gotta block him, Rodney. I want him to have a
Don't you
space to
I don't
where
want you to block him
and
because I want to have a
I would
conversation.
love for him to come up here. Yeah.
thank you, Rodney. But no, I don't like I don't even block my
But
impact.
let me say, look, misunderstood. If you give that man attention, he's gonna always think that he has you in his back pocket.
Mm-hmm.
And if he's a true narcissist, the worst thing you can do to him is completely ignore him. Because if you don't, he's always gonna think he has it, and don't think you the only one. And that's the whole thing. Because if
when
he
that
could do this,
man, you
go
know,
ahead, Rodney.
when that man first hit, when he first hit Teresa's platform, and when we knew it, when he made revealed himself, it was, even back then, it was all about, Mu and what she did. He never admitted of
He never
nothing,
does. It's
in
always
fault.
everybody else's fault.
Right,
Everybody.
no
Everybody.
accountability. And Teresa was asking him questions. He refused to answer the questions,
Mhm.
being like they was hard to, hard for him to answer. It was just, it was a mess. It was a mess. I didn't like his ass then.
I'm gonna take my ass back to bed. I've been in bed all day, so I'm just gonna go back to bed.
Why? Just we're
Really good.
talking.
No, I
We
can
just
take the phone with me. I'm saying I'm not going for a drive anymore.
Oh no, yeah, don't go for it. No, it's not even worth you wasting your gas and all that stuff. It's just not.
Well, like I
Because when you
said,
get over there,
you
you get
you're
into
a
it, and
grown
what if you
woman, and you're gonna do
outside?
what you want to do.
But what? So he can go back to ZX that you came to his house and
No,
did
but let
X,
me say
Y,
this,
Z.
y'all. At the end of the day,
No, I
I'm
know
gonna.
where his cameras are this time. I would just knock his camera out. Like,
Oh
like
my
This
God,
is the
I
she's
thing.
know
already
where.
planning it in
Mu. At the end of the day, you are a grown woman, and you do what the hell you want to do. But there is safety in wise counsel. Now, I
her mind.
don't know you from a can of paint. You've met Tracy, and again, you only talked to Rodney, so you don't know us. But again, we're not. I'm not saying anything derogatory about that man. We're just observing what this man has done. You're grown. You're gonna make those decisions. But all I want you to think about is what I said. If you can't think about anything else, if you don't want it for your own daughter, why would you want it for you?
Exactly.
And you got to
Mm-hmm.
realize that what you want for her, you should want for yourself. And if you want to be a model, because the thing is, your children see it. And if they see it, then if your daughter does the same thing, and if you would be mortified by it, then my thing is, you don't need to model that in front of them because they see it. They know what's going on. I mean, you can't hide from it, and they'll see this, and then unfortunately, our younger people are sponges, and they kind of, and you don't want your child to have to relearn, unlearn stuff because they got it. My thing is, you got to know who you are. But if you go back, girl, it is what it is. I mean, it's your decision. But you got people really here not calling you out of your name, not saying anything. The struggle is real. You've been intimate. You all probably shared some things, and it's hard because it's easy for people to say, "Oh, just drop it and move on." I understand that it's hard, but you got to look at the end goal of it because, again, this person has pretty much embarrassed you, and you've done nothing but defend
Embarrassed the hell
him.
out of her.
And my thing is, now, when do you start? When do you have somebody defend you? Why you always have to defend other people? When is this man gonna stand up and defend you? And again, that courthouse thing bothered me because again, it was everybody else's fault except his. And he
Right.
didn't have to speak to anybody. He could have just went there, but he made that decision to do so.
And
So
there's
all I'm gonna
people
say,
that would put you priority. There's people that if anybody else would have met you in the courtroom because they'd have been there to support you, you would have known about it. There wouldn't have had to be no guessing. They would
I
have been
think I
right
would have
there.
went to jail that day. I'm sorry. I think
I
I
would have.
could.
I
I
know
don't.
I would
No,
have,
I
Rodney.
would
I
have called a
promise you.
case. I would have called a
I
case.
would have.
Seriously.
I would
Well,
have because I already know
MU,
me. I would have been thinking you're sitting there and I'm over here and you're laughing.
Right.
I would have
I
thinking
would
my
have
you're
hit
laughing
Young
at me. I
Kato
would
mhm.
have
straight in
started
his
laughing.
goddamn mouth
Hmm.
and
Mm,
hers too.
MU though,
mm,
I think you're doing the right thing. I think you are honest with your feelings. But again, whenever you feel that way, do I want this for my daughter? Do I want my son to be this kind of man? So if I don't want him to be that kind of man, and if I don't want my daughter to be with this kind of man, then why do I want to be with this kind of man? And you have to be honest with yourself. MU, why do you want to be with this man? Why are you attracted to this man? Is this an addictive thing again? And do I need to be sober from this? And the same thing that you use for your sobriety, maybe you need to use to get over and get through this situation. Because to me, it just
Yeah.
sounds like this man has not really done well by you in certain instances. But you're grown. And again, we can only give you a suggestion. You're
Right.
going to have to make that decision.
Why don't you make plans with somebody for tomorrow to go do something? You know what I'm saying?
no, I'm
Right,
still wait.
because
Mm,
what's going to happen to you're going to sit around and be thinking about all that.
Yep. Hmm.
That's nothing but the devil's workshop right there. You see what I'm saying? You're going to be thinking about all. So what the best for you to do is to get out, try to enjoy yourself.
Hmm.
Even if it's by yourself, window shop, do something.
right.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
let me
go
say
do
this, because
something.
you're gonna regret,
Go shopping for some swimsuits that you're gonna wear on the
Right.
cruise. You know,
That's true.
because mine are coming tomorrow. They're supposed to be here tomorrow. I'm
But if
excited.
you look, I want you to know that you're not a bad person, and you know you're not, you're human, and you deserve to. You have feelings, and I don't want you to feel like we're ganging up on you because I know it could be a lot because you have a lot of people, but I think that Tracy, Rodney, and myself are genuinely concerned about your situation because we don't want you to be put out there like that. And again,
You
I
better
don't
be
know you from
glad
a
I ain't
can of paint,
straight.
but everything ain't about a coin. I
I'm
know
telling
people
you
say
right
that
now.
listen is about a coin, but I am about people's emotions and feelings, and I don't want your feelings to be diminished. I'm not saying that it's an easy thing. I'm sure it can be very difficult and hard because you done spent a lot of time with this person, and I get that. I get that.
Hmm.
But if you don't
You
want
got
it
to
for
let
your
it go.
daughter,
I
if
know
you
you're
don't
thinking
want your
about it's been
son,
three
you don't need
years.
it for yourself. And
And I
but
know it's been 3 years too long because if you're not growing, you should be growing together. You're growing further and further apart. That's not good.
And this man is old. This man is almost 60. That's what I'm like,
That's
come
what
on
I'm
now.
saying. He'll be 70 years old until that is not no. I mean, by then, misunderstood, you're in your prime now. You can get anybody you want. You need to just
Right.
be dating different people. Like that's what I'm saying. Make plans with somebody for tomorrow to go out, do something. He doesn't even deserve
yeah,
your
or
damn
better
time.
yet, like I said, take care of you. Go for a spa day. Get yourself pampered. Go out. I mean, hang out with somebody, go to a club, and again, see misunderstood. Let me say this too. When people separate you and don't want you to do certain things, that's a problem too. Because
Hmm.
you'll feel lonely and out there. And I think that you are a social person.
Hmm.
And I think you need to be that social person and do what you need to do. But misunderstood, I think misunderstood needs to love on misunderstood and figure out the complexities of misunderstood before jumping into any other relationships. Because what's going to happen is
Well,
you
not
don't
jump
want
into a relationship, but I think just for her,
to.
for
Yeah,
misunderstood though, what happens with her is dating. Like she can date different people. That's what she wants.
yeah,
She
I
likes to
get it,
replace
but
people with
it
me.
still need to be some healing in that too. Because
Yeah,
again,
yeah.
Teresa, she can go date somebody, but if she's
Hmm.
still feeling somebody, nobody want to hear about this ex boyfriend or what she. Nobody want to hear that crap. You need to get
And
healed.
misunderstood. I'm gonna
Hmm.
tell you this here. The threats are gonna get worse. They're gonna get worse. So just get ready for it. They're gonna
Um,
get worse, but choose, to ignore him.
Yeah.
Choose to
Well,
ignore him.
misunderstood. I think you're a cool person. I think you are misunderstood. I get the name. I think you are a complex person. I think you are a feeling person, and you feel from the heart, love hard, and you just and again, it seems like you want to make it work, but the other person has to make it work because you can't have a team when the other person don't want to be a part of it. And I just think that, if you don't see a future with this person, and here you are, and you like Tracy said, in your prime, you don't want to be with nobody who ain't trying to have nothing with you, you know, or
Right.
kicking somebody out the
He
house and
doesn't
stuff.
love
That
her.
that sounds like some high school crap. I'm like,
Yeah.
kicking somebody out the
That's what I'm
house.
saying. I'm like, what? No,
Yeah,
and
So
this man
he
acting
was
like
even
he's
mad.
15 years
He
old.
was even mad because that came out because I thought that Misunderstood had mentioned it, but I brought it out because I was so appalled. I was like, what the hell? Who's kicking somebody out in the wee hours of the night?
yeah,
And
that's
he
crazy.
was more concerned with how that got out than anything. I'm like, this man is a narcissist. I'm like, he's an
At his
idiot.
finest.
He's not
Yeah.
even thinking about anything that could have happened. He's thinking about, well, you did this and you did this and you everything is you.
Yeah.
He never
Well,
Right.
admits anything.
misunderstood. You know what? I'm glad you came up here. Let me say this. I know this was about Dobie and people paying her phone bill, which I thought
I
was.
don't even know about that. I got to
Oh
hear
yeah,
about
Teresa,
that.
that's what I was putting in there, baby. Brooke
But
done
I'm
dropped on
happy
the
she got
seat.
her place. I'm happy Debbie got her place though. I wish she would
Oh,
get
Did
there
she
go
hers.
get her
Cola.
place?
Hold on. So she said
Yes.
this is too much of a compromise to your sobriety. No one is worth that. You've been
No,
doing the
it's
work
not. This is
so
not. No,
that you can. Let me say this. So this is the
this has
Cola
nothing
Nick
to do
that
with
I
her
was.
sobriety.
This is Cola
Uh huh.
314 that I've been talking
Hey,
about,
Cola. Hey, baby.
and I see similarities with her situation and your situation. The only difference is Cola was married to her husband
Mhm.
and had to deal with this stuff with peace, love. And but her husband didn't want to take responsibility either, and they were married. So that should tell you, even in marriage, it don't stop. Even when people make vows, it does not stop. Because I was looking at this, and it really bothered me because here's this accomplished, beautiful woman, an officer in the military.
Yeah,
This
she's
man
gorgeous.
ain't had 2 cents get with her, and
Mhm.
her life goes haywire because of his stuff and his lies, and he never took accountability of it. And this woman
And isn't
didn't
she a psych
deserve that,
major? Isn't she a psych major?
huh?
Isn't she a psych major
I
in
think so.
psychology?
And and
Awesome.
she owned up to her stuff.
Yeah.
She was accountable for maybe her faults and stuff. Oh, you was enlisted. Okay, she was enlisted, but she was in, she was moving up. And the
Mhm.
thing is, she was enlisted, you all. She wasn't officer, she was enlisted. But
Mhm.
the bottom line is, she got with this guy, and all of a sudden, all of this crap, and I just see similarities, but she's doing fine. Yeah, yes, addiction and recovery is my field. So that's what she does. So,
But one thing about it, I got to give Misunderstood is, no Don Cato is going to cause her to relapse. Like she is very strong on her sobriety. That's the one good thing that I tell people when they say, "Oh, well, this is, this can make you do this." I'm like, no, it's not, because it's not even an option for Misunderstood, because she knows that if she goes backwards, then that's it for her and her kids, and she don't want to even go that
Right.
route. So
yeah, but
not
my
no.
thing is this again. So somebody
Mhm.
said, "Hello, Jay Wilson, misunderstood. I feel that your situation is not just love. I feel you're having codependency issues. Once you let that go, you'll be fine. God bless." And I believe that Don Cato likes that. I
Yeah,
agree
he does.
I'm
because I
sick of
believe
his
he likes
ass. I'm
you
sick of
having to
him.
pin on him and stuff because that's what people feel. And then once he feels useless, or you don't need him, then all of a sudden he called. He can do all this ugly stuff to you, but
Uh-huh.
now he realized that okay, you're having a. Let me tell you something misunderstood. You were looking like you were having a great time doing the lasagna
Exactly. And
challenge.
he
Right.
hated that. Yep. She's
You
an
Right.
was doing
extrovert and he
okay,
don't like
and guess
that.
what? He went a part of that.
Yep.
That was fun. It
You were
was fun.
And
bubbling. You could
and
tell
you
you were
should
in
do
your
more stuff
element.
like that because
You
again,
were
it tells you you
entertaining
can do stuff on
people.
your own. You don't need
Hmm.
that, And again, people like you for you. And if this man don't like you for you, again, you can't change nobody. This is why I say you gonna do what you gonna do, misunderstood. Because if somebody's getting in a relationship to change you or do this, then y'all should be in a relationship together. Because
Baby,
again,
this
you
is
can
not
barely
high
change
school.
yourself.
Let me tell you, she could have never done that competition talking to Don Cato. He'd have been like, "Why are you wearing that shirt? Can you go cover up? Can you do this?
Right.
Why'd you do that? Who's hitting in your link? Why is that person saying that you look good? Why is that person always, always something negative? But
And it's
anything
a
positive, he's
projection
not there
because
to
he ain't
support.
doing right. And
But
see,
He's
doing
not there
all
to
that,
support.
But doing all that, it won't simply say is "I love you." You see what I'm saying? Man, get
Exactly.
the fuck out of here.
When she was doing her interview with Sonetta and stuff, not don't be in there to support Misunderstood. He couldn't even be in there to support her, but he's over there worried about what people are saying in the chat and everything else. I'm like, oh please, you're just a wuss. That's all it is. Because I'm like, how come you can't confront? He can't confront
Well, he
men,
don't
but he has
trust
to be
her because he
hiding.
don't trust himself. And see,
He
That's
that's
better
what
the
be
it
whole
is.
glad.
thing. He
Right,
can't
Mm-hmm.
trust you, Misunderstood, because he can't trust himself.
right,
And my thing is, look, you're gonna have to make that decision. You're grown, and whether you with him or not, we can talk to you to the sky's blue. You're gonna do the hell what you want to do. But
right,
just remember, if you don't want it for your children, you shouldn't want it for you. And my thing is, you had to go through hell and high water to do what you need to do, and you're strong and you're resilient, and you can do a lot. You're going to school. You're trying to improve yourself, and I think that you tell people don't bring up your past, then I think you need to leave that in the past too, because again, that's
Mm-hmm.
going to be brought up as well. And Misunderstood, if you can deal with beef sector stuff, then you'll be able to deal with that. But I think Rodney is right in the sense that it's gonna get worse if you
Right.
go back, because people get vindictive as well, and they
right,
may not tell you, but they'll do it in different ways because they're
right.
they're angry with themselves. And I don't think it's a healthy relationship, and you don't need to be in anything that's unhealthy.
Don Cato will make somebody do something to him. I'm telling you, he will make somebody do something to him because that crap that he didn't. Ain't nobody else gonna put up with that out of Don Cato. Nobody else, and he knows that.
Right.
Yeah. So look,
Probably.
you do what you gotta do, but let me tell you, that man owes you nothing. He's already told you what he was about in so many words, with his actions, and you're not gonna get the closure you want because he's not gonna give it to you, because that means closure means it's closed, and this dude wants that case to always be open because he
Mm-hmm.
always wants you to go
You're.
back.
That's a good point. You're right.
He's
He's not
like,
gonna
it's
give her
not
the
gonna
closure
close.
she needs.
Long as I can
Yes,
keep you
he wants
coming
it
back and
open.
ask, he's not gonna close. He's not.
Right,
You
Mm-hmm.
don't want no
right,
closure. And he
right,
talking about he don't want the drama, but yes, you do.
He
right.
do.
Exactly. He better be glad I'm not. He better be glad I ain't straight.
Yeah.
He better be glad I ain't straight,
Mm.
I want to go to the
cause
chat.
he'll be forgotten
And let me
about.
say this,
I'm serious.
Misunderstood. My thing is this: you have to see the person as a whole, not as XYZ. I mean, first of all, now I know a lot of people had a lot to say about Tracy and everything. And let me tell you something, that California trip pissed me off. But I must admit, I'm happy with Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad that there's a Detroit. Now, everybody has a way to do what they do, but so far I've never seen Noble embarrass Tracy or do something crazy. And one thing is he wasn't hit no link and all of this stuff. And I mean, I'm saying that. And I'm not trying to kiss Tracy's behind. But when Tracy was with that California thing, that thing pissed me off. It
Oh,
pissed
I
me
would have
off.
been in
And I think a
jail. I
lot of
already knew
men
it was
here,
over. That's why I told Misunderstood it's over because I already knew. I was like, it's not going to end well. I
yeah.
already
Right.
knew. I
And
was
I think
like,
the men
it's
over
over.
here in this sector, even
Noble is a
though
man. That's what you call a man. Noble is a man.
yeah, and I think the men in the
Hmm.
sector, we
Yeah.
may roast and gag with you, and we may fight with you and that crazy because that's what we
Hmm.
do. But I think the men over here are very protective, and they see stuff and they say stuff. And the difference is that we are vocal. And I
Hmm.
think this is where the duality
Not.
of male female comes in, because we
Hmm.
male, but baby, we gonna give you that emotion and say, I know you ain't doing
I'm
that.
laughing at a statement in the chat.
That's true.
What was the statement?
Send a virus to his computer.
Oh Lord.
No, she trying to get me
No.
in jail.
I think people are concerned for you, Misunderstood. I don't think people want the worst for you. I think people want the best for you. And sometimes you can take it, not saying you, but sometimes people take it as, God, y'all ganging up on me, or da 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 da.
No.
And that's why
And
I'm
that's
pulling
never the
back to
case. But
say,
I just like, hold on. I was like, roll that back. I was like, oh no.
yeah,
I was like, please don't go
that's why I
back
say
there.
the decision is always yours. But I think that the people here want a good thing for you. And I think for the most part, people in the sector, are good for the most part, and they want the
Mhm.
best. They know that you've done your sobriety and you're doing really well, but then they looking at the holistic person. Not only do we want you to win over your addiction, but we want you to win in love as well and find somebody who really loves you, without conditions or stipulations. They love you for you and not
Mhm.
because they want to get something for you or do something to you. And and love is kind. Love does not embarrass. Love is not puffed up. That
And it
that you
love
know
doesn't hurt you.
it doesn't. It doesn't. And my thing is, what people call in love ain't really love. And
No,
so,
because it shouldn't be that difficult. I always say things should not be that difficult. If you so somebody say they love you, it should not be that difficult because you should be able to. Because either you're gonna fold or the other person's gonna fold because of your love for the other person.
yeah.
So that's just how it should be. It's not that difficult.
And let me say this: you're gonna go through situations and stuff. I mean, because nothing is perfect, but because you're human beings and everybody is flawed and everybody has their situations. But I'm gonna tell you, at the end of the day, I I would never want to embarrass my partner in public or do that. And
Not somebody I love.
But he don't
not
care
some.
about doing that. He don't care. He
No,
cares less about that.
he doesn't
Yeah,
care.
I'm always looking out. If I get a plate, you got a plate.
Hmm.
If I get this, can I get one for him? And somebody's always looking out. It shouldn't be the one way thing. I got a question for you, Misunderstood, since we up here.
Mhm.
So does he do that for you? Does he look out if there's something going on and he gets something? Does he bring you something too?
You mean like food and stuff? Like
I
the
mean, food or give, or I
Anything.
saw this, I got this for me, and I thought this would be good for you, so
oh
I
no,
got you one.
he ain't gonna do no shit like that. No,
You
but like
don't.
we'll go out and cause I'm all about the guy, treating and shit like that. Like he'll do that on trips and stuff like that. But no,
No,
gifts
this is
things
an
like that.
everyday thing. I'm telling you what, if I go to Luby's, to just go to Luby's, I'm gonna say, hey, I'm going to Luby's. Did you eat lunch? You want me to pick you something up?
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
no.
See, girl, that ain't see.
It's the little things that count.
It's the
How
little
was your
Mm-mm.
things.
Yeah, no.
how was your day? Sending flowers.
Mm,
I
Mm-mm.
love you. The little things that he don't even do that. That's what
No.
yeah,
I'm
babe,
like.
I'm going. I
Ugh.
got your ticket to the movie. Let's go and da 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 da.
Right. Let's go out
Or
and
we
do
gonna do
something.
this.
Let's
It's
go out and have
thoughtfulness.
fun.
And
Right.
then
Let's go
it's
to
something that nobody shouldn't have to teach you. If you don't do that, then because I'm never gonna go somewhere and not think of my partner. So if I get something, then maybe he want one. Let me call and make sure, or I'm gonna get it anyhow. But it's and I'm just saying because that says a lot. And I don't have to go on no trip to do that. If I'm in San Antonio and if he sees something, hey, I got this and I think you would like this. And I mean, I've
That's what I
had
do
that to
for
happen to
Noble.
me.
I was like, I bought me swimsuits, and I'm like, what is my baby gonna wear? Like, I'm thinking, wait, does he have swim trunks? I'm just like
I
thinking
know
stuff
that's
like that automatically.
yeah,
You
maybe
know.
that's
See,
yeah.
misunderstood. See, this is and again, because it's the thoughtfulness. It's not only me, but I'm dealing with another person. You ain't gonna be running up in my face and I'm not gonna introduce you to my partner. This is my partner, da 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 da, so on and so forth, because it's rude, it's wrong, or
Hmm.
I'm not going to be in somebody's face. Mm-mm, X or not. No, I'm sorry, because that's not gonna happen.
Hmm.
Yeah, I
I
get
just
That
I
it.
man
just
is
think that
downright.
I just think it's the and I asked that question because my thing is, again, it's the little things.
Yep.
I got a plate, you got a plate, or I'm going to pick something up. Do you want anything? Or I'm thinking about you, and are you doing okay, baby? I know y'all be thinking it's funny when I say I got to take a call, but I got to take a call. When I got to take a call, I got to take a call. And my thing is, I mean, it's almost like clockwork when I call because I want to know how your day is going. How's your day going? Da 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 da, so on and so forth. But then we have free time as well. I want you to spend some time because I don't need to be around you 24/7 either. But let me
Yeah.
tell you something. You got to think about that, and that's the only reason I bring that up because you know. Does he
Eh,
ever do anything for you? So when you go to the store, do you think about him? Would he like this?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but
Right.
he don't do that to you. And
Always
see, that's
buying
the
you
thing.
stuff.
It's not reciprocal. And it's and you know and you can't teach that. That's
And I
something you can't teach that. That's something that if you love somebody, you always thinking about them or you want to do something for them. And I just think that how
and you
was
know
the,
what?
I ain't trying to dig deep in your life, girl. I ain't trying to be no psychologist or nothing. But how's
And
your
I think
relationship
it.
or how
I
was your
bet
relationship with
I,
your father?
Nah, we ain't got no relationship.
It was you had a good relationship?
Mm-mm. No.
Okay. And I think sometimes MU that I think a lot of
that's
that may have to do
unfortunately
with some things as well. And I mean, let me say this, girl, go sit on the couch and
I
work
think
through this.
females in general, we have that idea of, you know, how that Cinderella thing, and it's like, no, it's not fantasy.
Well, let me
But I
say
think
this.
we
Let
all
me say,
have that.
no, Tracy, even with men.
Hmm.
Because if a
Hmm.
man don't treat his mama right, girl, you better
Oh
run to
yeah,
the hill.
absolutely. Now
You
Noble,
better
the
run
first
to
thing
the
Noble told
hill.
me was, "I'm gonna treat you like I would my mom," and I was like, "Why is he saying that?" And then I understood. I'm like, "Oh my God, that's good." I was like, "So," and he meant that. He meant that. He doesn't disrespect me, like, in any way.
Yeah, yeah. Because
I
I'm
mean, we
willing
we
to
kind
bet
again,
of.
a hundred. I'm willing to bet
No.
$100 that man is behind the scenes with ZX on the phone and all them. I
Oh,
bet he is.
I bet he is. Yeah, I bet he is.
yeah, but you know what? It's see, let me say this though. This is deeper than a ZX and being on the phone. I'm listening to MU, and I not when I say get on the couch, it's not a bad thing. But sometimes we got to work through some stuff. Sometimes we got to work through some stuff because I think there's some things that really we don't even understand why we do, and I think therapy really
Well,
gets that
maybe
stuff
this
out
tells you,
so we
Jay
can
Wilson. You know
focus.
how people said that they told her to not be, you can't be, it's not good to be in a relationship for the first year of sobriety. Maybe it has to do with that. Maybe that's why, because they want your thoughts to be clear.
Yeah, I think
They
it
don't
could be
want
a
them,
lot of things
they don't
too.
want you substituting one for the other, an
Yeah,
addiction
I
for
think
another addiction.
Tracy, I agree with you on that too. I think it can be a variety of things, but my
Hmm.
thing is misunderstood. I know you're intelligent, you're in school, you're doing your thing, but this should be a season of let me work on me. Let me fall in love with me because when I fall in love with me, I ain't gonna let anybody do anything to me because these are some things that I do not want. And I think too misunderstood because I know you mentioned that he's absolutely there. He helped me through that sobriety and all that stuff, and that's good. That's good. But there is a season. There's a season for everything. And my thing is, you can't continue to hold that over a person's head. And say, I help you through sobriety. Well, you should have
Right.
wanted to help the person through sobriety because you really love the person, not because the person is a project or this. And I just think that sometimes people will hold that over your head for guilt. And I mean, thank you, and I appreciate that. But yeah, I just think that it's a lot of work to be done. And let me say this misunderstood. It's not going to be solved on this panel. You always hear people in recovery talk about you got to do the work. Well, I think you got to do the work when it comes to relations. And I think that you have conquered one thing, but now I think you need to conquer this relationship and maybe, like they said, some of this codependency to release yourself so you don't be codependent. Because what will happen is you'll get in a relationship with somebody just like Don Cato, and it don't matter if Don Cato old, young, or what. It could be a light skinned Don Cato. It could be a dark skinned Don Cato. Because again, this kind of behavior doesn't deal with color, skin, or anything like that. What it deals with is the control issue. So I think that if you do not you cannot get to your light until you deal with your darkness. And I think you need to deal with your darkness in relationships now so you can get to that light. And let me say this is not a jump on MU thing because all of us have been released from something and we go into something new. And we have to realize that there are always going to be some challenges for all of us. And I think this is a learning lesson. And no one should be like, oh, MU, and poor MU, because again, we got somebody who is going through some stuff right now. And MU ain't the only one. But
Hmm.
I just think it's so public. And I just think now for her sake that she just has to just do the work on
Right.
this.
And MU, let me tell you this: you're not in this alone. Whenever I'm pretty sure you and Tracy is in contact with each other. If you feel like you need to, need somebody to talk to it, you can
Oh
always
yeah,
hit
she
Teresa,
knows.
up and things like that. He got his trifling ass support, and you have yours. So
Mm-hmm.
don't ever think you're in this alone,
Right.
because
Mhm.
he's going to come at you full force with all that he can to make you feel guilty, with threats and all that. He's gonna do that. So just get ready for it.
Mhm. But I'm
But
gonna
do you
tell you,
feel
MU, they do not like to be ignored. They do
Yeah.
not like to be
exactly,
ignored.
exactly,
They do not. I mean, and again, when you cut people off cold turkey, it
You can even Google it.
bothers
And
them.
the worst thing you can do to a narcissist, like Jay Wilson said, is ignore them. They
ignore
says that.
them.
That
Exactly.
statistics is textbook. So it's like that's the worst thing you can do. And they're gonna start going crazy. Like I wonder
Right.
who and any way that they can get back in your life, they kind of will. They'll be there. He'll be
Yeah.
there. I'm sure he's still over there on your channel modding. I mean, I don't know if he'll go to the extent of blocking all your people. I don't know if he'll do that, but you just never know. You want to
Right.
just break all the
Is
ties
he still
because you
modded
have
up,
to
MU?
you have to
Let me
move
say
on.
this too, misunderstood.
Is
Now,
he still
this
modded up
is
over there?
Oh, I think so. Yeah.
Baby, you need to unmod him.
yeah.
See
And
that
Yeah.
you
let me say this, misunderstood. Even the mention of him gives him orgasm because again, long as you mention it's a ray of hope. Oh, she's still thinking about me though. Uh-huh. She still mentioned my
Mhm.
name. Hmm.
right,
Baby, when you cut them
Mhm.
cold turkey, it really does something to them. But I'm just
Mhm.
saying, you make your decision, MU, because at the end of the day, you have to. But I think that there's safety in wise counsel, and I don't have any mal intent towards you. I'm not jealous of your relationship. You
I know.
know, I don't think Tracy is jealous of your relationship, and I don't think she has
No.
ill intent, and I don't think Rodney has ill intent. As you notice, no one has really disparaged him. We didn't talk about how he looked. We didn't no, but we're concerned. Everybody's focused on your well being and your health. So I don't want this to come off of, oh, y'all hate heterosexual men and y'all don't like heterosexual relationships. That's far from the truth because Tracy and Noble are in a relationship and we think that it's a healthy relationship far as we can see. And I'm happy that she's happy, and it seems like she's happy. And Noble defends Tracy. I mean, he knows who Tracy is and who Tracy's gonna be. But I've seen Noble come in and say, "Let me tell you something." Noble defends you, misunderstood, because, baby, when I was talking about that court case,
He loves
I had to
misunderstood.
let
He said
Noble
that's
know
but you
not
that,
know
baby.
what?
Yeah.
I'm gonna talk
yeah.
about the court case now. You ain't gonna censor me. But Noble even defends you.
Yeah.
And
He said that's
that's
my
something that
sister.
Don Cato didn't
Mhm.
even do. But
That's
here
true.
is Noble, who's a friend of your girlfriend. Tracy and him are together, and you're friends, and he's defending you because yeah, and I think that's no pun intended, noble of him to do so. But I just think that Don Cato should have been doing that instead of justifying talking to somebody else and doing all of this stuff, and then blaming YouTube and stuff and talking about people full of drama. But yet, yeah, he's in the drama and knowing good and well that talking to those women, and let me say this too, it's not Snoop's fault and it's really not Kiki's fault because he didn't have to really speak to him.
Yeah,
And
Right,
that's
we
what I'm
want
saying. It's all on
right.
him. To me, it's all on his ass
That's
because
all on
he
him.
knew
Exactly.
he should have been up
Cause
there and attentive with you right then from the
right.
start. That's why he allegedly came there. So I'm like, why not?
No,
Why
he
not
But
just
says
be
he
up
was
there?
still
but you
there. It didn't
but
matter. He was still there present. I think that he just wanted to break me in. That's what he wanted. That made him happy because of his response and telling me that there was nothing wrong with it. So I'm like, okay, you got what you wanted, but it is what it is.
yeah, well,
but you know
my
what, MU? Another thing that I want you to keep in mind. Let's say if it did come down to a court situation, this is why I say you need to cut all contact off with him, because uh it will come up that, well, what did you do to try to avoid the situation? Were you still in contact with him? Were you and all that is going to go against you. The court is going to look at, well, it must not have been too bad because you still involved, you still calling, you went out to his house, all that will go against you.
And not to mention, he's probably trying to record. That's what I'm thinking.
Right, exactly.
I can tell. I can tell because remember I was telling you, Tracy, his questions were like interview style. I could already
Yeah.
tell something was
Mm-hmm.
MU, let me say this though.
okay.
You gotta face what you fear. When I was in chaplaincy, it was really funny because um, I had to admit that I had a problem with executive white men because I worked as a flight attendant and they always treated black men as like servants. And I could, ooh, it just bothered me. So I would put a blonde, believe it or not, up there because in the airline industry, your comments reflect the whole crew. And I never wanted the crew's ratings to go down because of me. And so I would always do that. And I resented that for a bit. And so I had to face that. So when I was working at the hospital, you know where they put me at? They put me in the cardiac unit, which is mostly white men, older white men. And I had to deal with it and I had to face it. And it was really interesting. And sometimes you got to face that stuff that you are fearful of or that you do not like. And I think that you really have to do that because, you're not going to pass it's funny because social promotion doesn't really help the person. Actually, knowing the items and passing the test does. And I think that's what you're going to have to do in this situation, or you're going to see it again and you're going to see it again and you're going to see it again. And so, my thing is if you don't really want to see it again, pass the test. And that may be that Don Cato, because I truly believe if you don't, you may not go back to Don Cato, but you will date someone exactly like him. And I think that you have to get used to being alone for a little bit is your
Right,
fear. Then you
right.
need to face that fear. And instead of doing that, that's when you focus on your kids and your schooling even
And
more.
she's been doing good because she's been busy. You know how she likes being busy? She's been very busy. And I love that
Yeah.
because that lets me know that she's in her element. That's how I met her. It was all chaotic. Misunderstood loves having chaotic, busy schedules. And that's what works for her.
Yeah.
So
And I think
it's,
that's smart. You know that works
yeah,
for you. I think that's smart. And let me tell you
yeah.
something. Let me tell you something. I know you're not a Christian, but I am going to use this passage because I think it relates to you. You need to be the Ruth in this situation. And Ruth lost her husband, lost everything, but she didn't have time to cry. She didn't have time to say, "Oh, my husband gone and I'm a widow." Ruth went out and worked the fields. She worked because she
Hmm.
had a mother-in-law that she stayed with and wanted to take care of. And Boaz said that this woman works hard and he saw her. And all I'm saying is when you're going to school, taking care of your kids and doing what you need to do, somebody's going to see that. And let me say this, when you're not expecting it, you're going to meet that person. Some things come unexpectedly. And that's the best thing when they come unexpectedly. When you try to make it happen, it don't work. But when that thing happen organically, it's beautiful. So all I'm going to say is get to work, do what you need to do for your life. Somebody's going to recognize that this is a good woman. This woman is about
Hmm.
her business, and this is what I need in my life. And
Yeah.
usually you attract people. Usually what you give out is what you attract. So I'm telling you, stop looking for it. Stop looking for it because it will find you.
And honey, go ahead and order that pretty flower dress that you posted on your community wall, and go out there
Yes.
and have a ball, honey. And quit thinking
Yes.
about that nut.
Order you some sandals and you can take the cowboy boots. Just order some sandals too.
Well, I did get some cowboy boots. Like I got some, you know, 'cause, for the cruise stuff. So
Yay. Okay.
yeah,
And look forward to going to that cruise, girl, because I'm serious.
Yes.
Stella gonna get her groove back. Something gonna happen. I'm telling you.
Right.
Jay
But
Wilson
yeah,
has
I'm
been saying
excited.
that he's a, what did you say, you a post profit or a
baby,
pre
I'm
profit,
post
not a
profit. I'm
post.
not a pre profit. Tracy has been on here long enough to know that if I say it, it's gonna come to pass. And really, and that's no slight to the gift of that ministry because I know people have issues with that. But my thing is usually it's right on target. Like I just think that when you free yourself and allow yourself to be open and say, I'm open to love, I'm open to life. I
Hmm.
have just thrown this thing that has been a weight or a ball and chain on me. I've thrown it now. I'm free and light. I believe that going on that cruise is going to help you have fun. You're going to meet some
Yes.
people, and I just think that it's going to be good. And I think something good is going to come out of it.
I do too.
And I just think that you need to really
Mhm.
focus your mind, start getting ready for it, prepare yourself for it.
Yes.
Already
Hopefully you join us
passed.
in the exercise
I'm
class and we walk or
excited.
whatever. I just think we're gonna have a good time, and I just want you to you can't take that man on the cruise with you in your mind. You need to leave him out. And my thing is,
Okay.
you got a whole month to put him out of your mind
See,
because you don't
that's
need
a
to be taking
perfect
him on the
thing.
cruise.
Yes. Because after a month, I mean, that's going to be it. That's the ultimate, not test, but that's just the ultimate. That's letting you know, hey, we can celebrate. It's been a month that you've been free, away from that. That's going to be a blessing.
Yeah.
Yep.
So misunderstood, how you feel? Because we done said a lot, and we haven't heard from you. How do you feel?
Mm, I'm kind of depressed, like a little bit.
You feel who?
Kind of depressed, but it'd be okay.
Okay. So what is causing the depression? I mean, why do you feel kind of like sad, or name it? What?
It's just a lot. Like I feel anger. Like I feel like just the situation he put me in. Because here I am. I'm not gonna go. I know my temper, and I could have went to jail. Like I was seriously gonna snatch some people up just the way they were playing with me. And I just want to get it out of my head. You know,
See,
and I
that's
don't.
what I'm saying, Mu. Not for cutting you off. You don't have to put yourself through that because you know this man is not going to change.
Right.
You don't have to go through that.
Dr. Lashana Ruth Brown said you have an interesting story. Do you journal, or should you write about your experience?
I do journal. I journal a lot, and I haven't written about this yet, because I'm still processing it all. But I do journal.
Well, I think that's a good idea too. And again, you're feeling depressed and stuff, and I think you have to deal with those feelings and stuff. I know you want closure, but I don't think he wants closure. I think he wants to. He don't
She's
want the
never going to
room to.
get the closure she wants.
Yeah, and I
No,
don't
he
think
doesn't.
you're ever
He
gonna get it because it's
doesn't.
gonna frustrate you. Let me
Yeah.
tell you
I think that
something.
you want answers
He
as to
doesn't.
why it
He doesn't.
happened in the beginning, and that's never going to happen.
Well, he
Because
Right.
doesn't
he's just that type. He's
mean
just that type of
wrong.
person.
And let me
He's
tell you something. These people will have you fighting them. I'm serious. Let me say the only reason I can tell you this is because I dated somebody like that. And I'm telling you, I'm like, wait a minute, this is crazy. This is crazy. I'm like, I'm not. And then you have to tell people like, when you do this, I feel because I use a lot of the statements. Well, when you do this, it makes me feel like this. Baby, them people don't care. Them people don't
They
care.
don't.
And then they'll
Mm-mm.
always say that,
Uh-uh.
oh, you're so sensitive, you're overthinking, you're overanalyzing. It's
Mhm.
always you.
Yep. Is all right.
It's always you. And I'm like, And again, let me tell you something. When it was over, because I made sure it was over. When I tell you I changed, I blocked numbers and so on and so forth, I didn't play. And then, you know, people had the nerve to show up at the supermarket that you shop. I kept on going. I ain't say nothing. I just got in my car and drove away. I'm telling you, misunderstood. Trust me, Rodney is right because you're gonna go through some stuff, and I'm telling you what. So you're gonna see all of that adoration and I love you, boo. It's gonna change because when you ignore people and you don't give them that space, they really get angry about it.
Right. Right. Exactly.
mm,
But like I said, yeah, he's going to come full force at her with all that he can to make her come back to him, to make her still be involved in his life. So that's going to happen. So just get ready for it.
Doctor said, so let me just see. Somebody said what he did at the courthouse was only closure you'll get. He showed you that he didn't care about or value you. Accept it. I know
Big.
it hurts. Move on. Don't give him another iota of your peace. Dr. Shauna Bruce Brown said, I write a letter to myself, and once you read it back out loud, it helped me to deal with those tough emotions that I was dealing with.
Yeah.
Okay. When people don't take responsibility for their actions, they are not sorry. You are always the problem. Yep. They
yes.
get desperate and try everything to get you back. Stay
Yeah,
strong and take
he's
care of
gonna get
yourself.
desperate. Yeah, he's gonna get desperate because he Don Cato knows ain't nobody else is gonna put up with his crap. Nobody.
Somebody said, no nonsense said, you're welcome, sweetie. I'm only telling you what I know. I've been through. You will find your king. He's out there waiting for you. Yeah, I think MU and I would get along great. Oh, Christmas, something you funny. MU, I'm sorry that you're depressed. And I,
Thank
I
you.
mean, and I get it because a lot of people are giving you a lot of information at once. And I get that. Just know that these people have the best interest for you and they want the best for you, and I haven't heard anyone say anything negative. Usually, when you come up in the room, 50 people got 50 things to say, but I see nothing but support and people saying, you know what, you need to move on. And I think out of the mouth of two or three, every word should be established. But again, you're gonna have to make that decision because we can say what we want, baby. You know, you gonna have to do the work. But I just, I just I just know that you're better, and I think that you're a value, and I just don't think that person values you. And again, what Rodney was, I think what Tracy was saying about this man would even have an issue with how you were dressed and you were cooking. Again, that's a control issue. That's a
Right.
control issue. Let me say this. Girl, you was having a good time in that kitchen. You was free.
Mhm.
You know, you
I
know, you was
loved
doing
it.
your thing. You was having fun. It was a competition, so on and so
Right.
forth. And that probably he probably had a problem with that because again, this is I'm happy without you. And
Mhm.
I just think that you really need to just keep those things in thought and you know, oh, you want me to take your face off that thing, girl? I'm sorry, no nonsense. You know, if I keep it on, girl, you know I keep it on. I do what I have to do.
I,
And let me say this, you all, I don't have a
But
problem with Don Cato. There's somebody out there for him too, but I don't think it's MU because I think MU is too giving, and a person like him takes advantage of that.
He needs somebody
And I
that's not
mean,
on social media because he wants somebody that's going to keep things quiet and be. He wants an introverted person that's not going to say nothing. That's going to let him run their life. And Misunderstood is not that now. She may have been
right.
that before, but she's not that now. And I think that's why they're having the problem because he's wanting to turn her into what she was before she became into herself. Now she's new. She's a new person. She's glowing. She was
and
so in her element,
that's a
talking to
threat.
people. Hmm.
That's a threat. That's a threat. Isn't it some so I know this lady right now, her husband wants her to continue to be fat. And it's not good for her health, but it gives him something to do. And then then I have another lady, she's the same way, and then she lost the weight and the husband had a problem. I mean, he started getting a little jealous and
Oh my
I'm
God.
telling you, you can't look, you got issues. Everybody has issues, but I don't think this issue is your issue. I think the only issue that you have is that you care and that you love this person, but I don't think this person reciprocates that. And again, people can love your sex, but they don't necessarily have to love you.
Hmm.
And we're not saying that you can't talk about the situation and all that, but talk about it to where he's not seeing it or hearing it. You see what I'm saying? Because if you constantly talk about it, and if he sees it and hear it, then it's gonna be always that that it's always a chance
She
for you
wants
to
me
come back.
still. She's still talking
Oh
about me.
my
She can't
God,
keep
y'all.
her mouth off me.
I am doing my
Right.
fall cleaning and I just cleaned out this drawer and I just found my social security card that I lost
Come on,
before.
Tracy, you better go ahead and find that
Can
social
you
Okay.
security
believe that,
card.
Misunderstood? I had
oh
ordered my new one
dang,
and everything.
we
I
need
was
it
like,
for
what?
the cruise,
I
don't we?
know. I
Do we
just
need it?
found it. I'm
Oh,
like, dang. It was
Yeah,
in the bottom of this
misunderstood.
drawer.
You know, look, I know we were talking about one thing and you popped up, but I think that there's a reason why you hit this panel. I think there's a reason why Tracy, Rodney, and myself are on. And sometimes things happen for a reason because we weren't even talking about this, and now we're talking about this. And I think
Hmm.
that, you know, sometimes things happen for a reason, things happen for your benefit. And I just think that you should know that these people really care about you. I know I say that, you know, there are no friends on YouTube, which I still believe. I still believe if you got a friend, you better keep them real quiet because when these people try to tear you up. But those are my thoughts. They don't have to be the thoughts of all content creators. But one thing I do know about the beef sector is we can be fairly vicious, but we can be sincere and wanting people to go on because we don't like people to get dogged out. We really don't. And you know, I know people are going to take this video and say a lot about it. I really don't care what they say about it. The bottom line is, you know, we want some healthy relationships, and we just see that relationship not being healthy. But I can't stop you from loving who you want to love. And at the end of the day, if you decide that's what you want to go to, girl, go to it. But I tell you what, don't people
Gonna
on
be
YouTube gonna talk
consequences.
about it. Now I'm just gonna tell you that right now. I'm like, Lord have mercy. But you know, but at least be honest about it. And I ain't lying. I'm just this I'm sad because you're depressed, but I get it because it's a lot to take in. But I'm gonna tell you what, you will kick yourself more if you go there because you're not gonna get what you want. And if you do,
Right.
and if this person say, "Hey, I'm sorry," and da da da, I will always be suspicious because I'm like, "Okay, what are you plotting next?" Because again, this man is almost 60, and
60, you're like, and he's acting like he's fucking 15 years old.
Exactly.
but the
It's
thing
weird.
is,
Yeah.
somebody has given him that carte blanche to act like this. This didn't start yesterday. This didn't start yesterday, and so again, you know, misunderstood. I think the people are right. It's that codependency thing, and I just think that you're gonna have to do some things on your own, and you need to date when you're ready. But yeah, so just be careful with that.
All right.
Y'all,
I'm excited
this
about
has
part
really been
three.
interesting tonight.
I'm
We weren't
excited
really
about the
going here
friends
tonight,
misunderstood. We're
but
gonna have that.
um, this is why the beef sector is so relevant because we can talk about a subject and then on the drop of a dime go to something else. You know we can. Tracy, any words? Any Rodney? Any words?
Oh
Yeah,
no, just
I'm just here for you regardless, babe. But I just, just make better choices. You're doing good. Uh, think about your swimsuits. You need to go online, start shopping for those. It's other stuff we got to worry about that you could be worried about other than this fool and what he's gonna say to make you feel better because he ain't gonna say nothing to make you feel better. All he's gonna do is say whatever he needs to say at the moment, and then it's gonna go back to the same chaotic hell. And you don't need that. You don't need to miss no more school for that idiot. Nothing.
Exactly.
Girl, I know you ain't missing
right.
school.
And
Wait a minute. I know you ain't missing no school.
Mm.
I know you're
Just
not
one
missing
day.
school.
Just one day. She missed.
One day is too much. You can't be doing that, girl. You can't have people messing up your dreams and stuff. And
right.
see, that's right there. That's too much right there. Misunderstood. But
Yeah.
anyway, I'm not gonna go
But
any
we
further, girl. Ooh, Jesus.
Right.
but
Okay.
my
Up in
final
here.
word is we all three of us care about you, MU, and your best interest. That's it. We're not trying to drill you and and just make you feel even worse. We just care about you. That's all.
Yeah. But
And your well
misunderstood. The only
being.
thing we're trying to say is you're valuable. And sometimes we devalue ourselves and you're valuable and you need to know your worth. Because if you know your worth, you're not gonna let anybody put you on markdown, honey. Okay. And right now you a full retail price and people trying to act like you the last call, ma'am, and you're not. And so
Exactly. You're not.
my
No.
thing is you just got to realize that people think a lot and sometimes we don't take inventory of who we are. And I'm sorry, I know people think I'm arrogant and people can say this, but I know who I am and I take full account and inventory of who I am. Am I perfect? Hell no. Do I have faults? Hell yeah. But I love me some me. And I'm telling you, I'm not gonna get with anybody who's gonna devalue me, but yet I don't want to get with anybody who I can devalue either. Because I first of all, if I devalue you, then that means I'm worthless pretty much. And I don't want anybody who I can devalue. We should always be uplifting and lifting each other's value. I mean, we should always be doing something like that. And I just think that it's a one-way situation with you. I think it's a one-way. I think you always giving, 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 and folk taking, 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 and you get tired of that. And one day you're gonna wake up and you're gonna be like, how the hell did I get here and why am I here? I mean, and yeah, and I don't see that. And this person ain't trying to get married. It seems like this person done had a situation with that, and it's like I'm just having a good time, and I'm gonna die single. It seems like he is a confirmed bachelor, and that
That's
type of
honestly what I
person is
think.
not the
Some
type of
people,
person you want to get with.
yeah, some people are just naturally like that. They know that they're gonna die single. My ex was. You just wanna you. They just know that they're gonna die single. And it's like, yeah, you are, and it's just unfortunate, but that's just what they see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want you to be depressed, sis. I want you to do what Cheese say. Go get your bikini, get ready,
Yeah.
get ready for the cruise, and then we're
Get
gonna
them
have a
white
great
cowboy
time.
boots on because I want to get a picture of you in that bikini with the white boots. That's gonna look so sexy. Yes,
Right.
I'm
Yeah.
excited.
This person says keep up with school counseling and recovery. This is good. Back to read The Betrayal Bond, How to Heal When the Person You Love the Most Hurts You the Worst. That may be something to
Uh,
look at. That sounds
Savi,
like a good book, huh?
is- Savi, yeah.
Oh, Asabi, hey my baby.
Mm-hmm. Why get married
I
to
love
somebody
Asabi.
who ain't got nothing? You marry people if you plan to have kids. Why not marry? Well, it depends. You come back to the video whenever you feel low. I believe that. I think you need to come back to this video when you feel weak, baby,
Yeah.
because
Right.
um,
Right.
yeah, love the way the topic changed to focus on one that is going through the hurt, live one up. Yeah, I think everybody can go through. And let me say this too. This is MU's battle and struggle, but we all got it. We all have some, and that's why I'm saying, we all got some stuff. It's no one perfect, and I don't care if you're living in this human body, you got issues. But I think that this is good with the beef sect that can be supportive, and we don't have to tear down that man
Right.
to be supportive of MU. We're just calling out things that we have observed.
Yeah, because he didn't tell himself down, to be honest.
Yeah,
So
we
maybe he
have
Right.
wasn't gonna
observed
do
it.
that.
Right.
So nobody ain't call him this, this, and this. Now, the narcissist thing, I'm not a doctor. I don't diagnose people, but people feel like that there are some tendencies that lead has led to this, or it's some
Mhm.
familiarity with this. And I think that, you know, this is what has happened. But you should come to this video because I think people are saying, hey, MU, we know that we do some crazy stuff in this beef sector, but overall, we're caring and we do want the best for you. And I think that's what people are saying. Um, and I know it's overwhelming. It's a lot. So I'm not trying to say do a magic wand, but I do think you need to look at this video. Ask yourself, do you want this for my child? So when you ready to drive over there or you ready to make a phone call to get closure or think what you're gonna get closure, then I think you might need to look at the video or ask yourself those questions because I think it'll help you get through. And it ain't easy. It ain't
Please don't
easy.
go out to that man's house because that could be used against you.
Yeah.
No, I'm not. I'm not. I'm not. I'm good.
Because it pissed me off. Let me tell you something. I said to myself, why did he give that person that video and you knocking on the door? I'm like, y'all, I thought y'all was beefing because I'm like, what in the hell?
Right. Exactly.
I'm like, why did he do that? And so that was my first like something ain't right. And baby, that lady Snoop thing did me.
To
Cause I
one of the
mean
major
that pissed me
enemies.
off so badly because both of them sat there and lied talking about something they ain't do nothing and she her religion
And this
and
bitch laughed in her face.
It made me
Mhm.
mad because Pizarro's dumbass. I kept telling her, "How do you know?" I remember I kept telling her, "How do you know?" She was so, "Oh, because she's not like that. She got a lot of friends." I was like, "Girl, please. Anybody
Exactly.
went and paid for nobody to be in a hotel room? You ain't did nothing, child. Please." I'm
Exactly.
like, "Stop." And then he was lying, talking about they were travel buddies. I'm like, "Oh, please, for what?"
um that right
I
there,
was,
Tracy. That right there. That right there.
I
Exactly.
was so
And
mad.
then both of them came to the realization, and then all of a sudden it came out that they was knocking it. And then I'm like, see, right there,
Well,
that would have been over because again, you can't even be truthful in that. My
she
thing,
made the
like,
statement.
dang.
She
And
made
then
this.
what made me upset was, okay, she tried to talk about something. I don't do seconds. I don't do girl. I'm like, it was a lot. It was a lot. So
Yep.
we only bring that up because again, these are not rumored. These are things that we have observed, and I just think that these patterns are just it's going to be more. and it's going to be another story, and it's going to be another story, and another story. And I just think that you should get out of this book because you shouldn't be written in this story. I think you need to write yourself out because I wouldn't want to be involved in it. But again, I don't want to rehash stuff. I think you got the message. I think it's loud and clear. I think you know that people are concerned about you. I just think that one day at a time. Um, I'm sure with your sobriety, you had some challenges, but you got through them. And I think, I think this is something that you're gonna have to be in recovery for as well. Believe it or not. And this may even be tougher than the other thing because again, this is some intimate things. This is somebody talking to you, and y'all talk to each other, and all of this stuff. And so now that's a big part, and you're not doing that anymore, or yeah, because I don't even think you can be friends with the man, to be honest, because it's
I don't
always
think
gonna be
so either.
something.
No, oh
I wouldn't
no, hell
recommend it
no,
Girl,
because
you be
let me
dating
tell you
somebody
why,
hell
and he'll
Miss
be
no.
asking
Understood.
about that, and then he'll be,
Yeah, no.
yeah. So,
I
but
don't think so because, and you can talk to your counselor about because she goes to her meeting still. So talk to them about relationship wise, and tell
I
them
was
that
just
you're
getting
trying to
ready to ask her
break
that. Do she
away.
have a counselor?
Yeah, and just see what they got to say about it because they probably have a lot of positive. I really don't think you can be friends with the
Oh
person
no,
because it's so
no,
far gone. It's
no,
just
not at
y'all
all.
haven't crossed over. There's no way that I don't think you could be friends with them.
No, not at all. She's gonna have to totally turn him loose.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
I
don't
mean,
think.
he's not even worthy to be friend. He can't even give you good advice because he's so
No,
busy thinking about himself. It's just like, ugh.
Yeah, I'm not interested.
well, let me say this: you have support, and whatever you decide to do, it's always your decision.
ooh,
And I'm going. I can't say I won't talk about it.
Jerry Wilson,
But
stop
but
okay.
my
saying
thing is
that.
this
I
though. I'm
got,
gonna tell you what, baby. If 50 things was going on in my life, you won't hear about it on YouTube. I swear, because again, you really want to help people. You want to be transparent and vulnerable with people, but baby, you can't do that on these YouTube streets because they will use it as a whole weapon. But that's totally up to you. I think you've been more transparent than most. So yeah.
Yeah.
thank you.
Lyric, what you doing?
I'm gonna
No.
jump to the chat. Thank you, Tracy and Rodney J. Wilson. I appreciate
You're
you guys.
welcome,
You're
babe.
You're
I've
welcome.
been in
welcome,
your chat.
sweetie.
Thank you
Call
guys.
me later.
Well,
I'll
look,
be up all
y'all,
night.
I
I'm gonna
will.
have to go ahead and
All right, I'm gonna step down to
step
Pastor.
down because I got
Okay.
things to do.
Let me get
Teresa, we
down
go
too.
look,
I'm
look, look,
cleaning.
Teresa. I'm gonna make the
I'm
girls mad.
cleaning.
We going to Six Flags tomorrow.
I'm cleaning my drawers out, child. I got so many. I got bags of just I don't know what. I'm like, what the hell? It's just weird. But anyways, let me finish cleaning. Okay, Jay Wilson, I'll be
All
in the
right,
chat.
take care, you all.
Okay. Bye.
Wow, y'all, I didn't expect all of this tonight. You know, I just hope that MU finds her spot and it's never easy, you know what I'm saying? But I'm happy that she understands that hey, I'm valuable and I really don't need a lot of this. But y'all, she's in a vulnerable place where it's a place of decision and again, it could be difficult because you've been with this person and you spend time and that, that counts for something, but you got to think of the long term and where you're going from there. And this is why the beef sector is gonna survive because we have heart. We listen to people when they're really going through something. Everything ain't about games, and everything is not always about roasting and gagging. Even though we do that, but when there's a serious situation, you know, we can get together and rally around folk. And I just think that's why the beef sector is who we are. And we're many things, right? But yeah. And somebody will use this tomorrow. And I know the girls is gonna be using this. I'll be surprised if they didn't. But I know the beef sector. But the bottom line is it is what it is. And truth be told, you all, I hope and pray that Dovey is in her apartment. That's real. I hope that she finds some stability and move on with from just read my book. It seemed like just read my book is saying, "Girl, I'm getting ready to get you now." I mean, I'm letting you say a lot, but and she ain't say too much. She just solicit people if they have any stories, let us know. And that Brooke thing didn't help either because Brooke showed that cash app. She said, "I'm down real bad." So that's rough when you're down real bad. And this Kiki thing, I hope the Kiki thing resolve itself. I just hope that because I think it's gonna get ugly, and I think somebody's gonna really, really get hurt. I think somebody's marriage might be affected. I'm not sure. I'm not calling that out, but I'm just saying because this thing is getting really ugly, and people are dropping these receipts, and so I hope that resolves itself. I hope people can let cooler heads prevail, but we will see on that. And far as YouTube TV, YouTube cameras, girl, I would just take a little hiatus, and yeah. So, but look, it was real. Y'all have a good Labor Day, um, and we'll talk later on. Peace and love. Y'all take care.